Hello Warriors, welcome to How to Fix Power Rangers. For this series, I'll be making a long list of videos covering every season from Mighty Morphin all the way to Beast Morphers. The videos will be shorter, but it'll cover all existing seasons. Let's start from the beginning. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1. Basically, there should be less fillers, more character driven, conflicts should happen between members, each episode has character building, which would create an overall character arc per season. Jason will be uncertain about saving the world and feels the stress and the weight of responsibility, and later learns to overcome these challenges. Kimberly is a valley girl who later becomes more down to earth. Billy, the typical zero to hero. Trini, a serious student who learns to loosen up. Zach, a chill jokester learn about responsibility. Tommy started off being a rival to Jason and later learns from him, which prepared Tommy to be a leader. One story arc I'd like to add would be the Power Ranger weapons. I have a story to tell about the Core 5 gaining the power weapons in the ancient armament arc. The Rangers didn't start off with their power weapons, and they fought using just blade blasters. The Rangers find them effective but not efficient. They want to find tailor-made weapons for themselves. Jason has been training to learn how to use a broadsword for plays. Kimberly is the captain of archery. Zach has been helping his neighborhood since he was young to chop firewood with an axe. Billy is training for javelin as it's something he feels most comfortable with. Trini's father has taught her how to use and throw daggers since she was young. After asking for a weapons upgrade, Alpha finally revealed Zordon's training regime for the Rangers. By the end of the training, Zordon has planned to let the Rangers retrieve the power weapons in the Valley of Medusa after he finds the location. The weapons are semi-sentient and chooses their wielders. Alpha suggests the team to wait until they are mentally prepared. The team protests to Alpha at first, but then gave in after Jason told the rest there is a reason why Zordon didn't want them to retrieve the weapons yet. Alpha reveals the Valley of Medusa tests the true strengths of the Warriors, which the Rangers are not powerful enough to get. It's like a level 5 player trying to beat a level 50 mission. Even if Zordon knows the location, he will not endanger his Rangers until they're ready. Meanwhile, in the Angel Grove Museum, an archaeologist announces her interest in finding the Valley of Medusa, which contains possible evidence and records of an unknown lost civilization. Rita heard this and remembers there are 5 powerful weapons hidden there. She predicts the Rangers would want these weapons for themselves. She decides to send Squat and Baboo to kidnap the archaeologist and retrieve the weapons for herself. After the archaeologist capture, she refuses to help Rita, but unfortunately they also captured her son, and has already sent their child to the mystical location. According to the archaeologist's notes on the legends of the Valley of Medusa, if they don't retrieve the weapons nor leave the valley by sundown, they'll turn to stone. Thus, Zordon was forced to send the Rangers there for a rescue mission despite the risks. The Valley of Medusa is a pocket dimension and has a layer of magic that blocks teleportation and stops Zords from entering. Even Zordon's communicator doesn't work, and the Morphers only have partial access to the morphing grid. The Rangers could morph, but could only be a tenth as powerful as their normal Ranger self. The Rangers are in a race to save the archaeologist and the child, and stop Squad and Baboo from getting the weapons. The team split up. Kimberly and Trini were to find the kidnapped archaeologist and the child. Jason, Zach, and Billy were to find the weapons. Kimberly and Trini were successful in rescuing the child and the archaeologist. However, they are ambushed by putties, Squat and Baboo. The Ranger sidearms are powerful against the putties, but not good enough against the 2 agents of Rita. On the other side of the valley, the boys were tested. The weapons are inside a concrete trunk, and the only way to break the box open would be the Sword of Darkness, the same sword that would later be used by the evil Green Ranger. Upon holding the Sword of Darkness, the wielder are controlled by imminent rage and insanity. When Zack tried to hold it, he tried to strike his teammates and was held down by Billy and Jason, who knocked the sword out of his hands. When Billy held the sword, it had the same effect. Thus, Jason told the two to hold his arms at the box after he grabs the sword, when he counts to 3. After he finished counting, the 3 boys aimed the concrete box and broke the case open, revealing the power weapons. However, it was already sundown and the boys' feet are turning into stone. Squat and Baboo arrived to jeer at them and showed the group of putties has captured Trini, Kimberly, and the archaeologist and her child. The Rangers have failed. The two will release in the end of the Rangers as they slowly turn to stone. Squat and Baboo won't turn into stone because Squat is an exile of this ancient civilization and is immune to this magic of this civilization. That's why he's familiar with this valley. However, Jason calls out to the weapons, remembering they are semi-sentient and are the cause of the petrification magic. Squat asks if Jason has lost his mind, but Jason continues on. The Rangers will fight against injustice and evil. He asks the weapons to join them. All of a sudden, the weapons flew to the Rangers. The petrification magic is gone. The Rangers could now fight with their new weapons allies. Squat and Baboo retreats immediately. Ironically, if Rita had not sent Squat and Baboo down, the two wouldn't have pushed the Rangers to their limits, and their powerful weapons wouldn't have seen the Rangers worthy. Taming of the Zords. Rangers need to learn how to control their Zords through controlling their emotions and focus. The Zords are sentient mecha with ancient creatures of souls within the mightiest and kindest of the Cretaceous periods who fought alongside Zordon against invasive forces way before Rita's arrival. These prehistoric beasts were pure enough to merge with the morphing grid energies and evolve to become a new life form, Dinozords. 10,000 years ago when Rita came, these Dinozords joined their powers and gave it to a mighty warrior to be the Mega Dino Ranger. The Dino Ranger took the form of Dino Mega Dragon Zord and fought with Zordon, successfully sealing Rita. However, the Dino Ranger cannot contain the powers of 6 Zords and the powers end up poisoning him. Refusing to give up the powers and wanting to protect the Earth, this Dino warrior wants to continue his fighting spirit. Zordon contained his Dino spirit in 6 separate crystals, giving the Zords the ability to combine, which would reawaken his spirit. Modern day, the Dinozords handpicked the Rangers to use their powers to fight alongside Zordon. The Rangers couldn't form the Megazords until their minds are united and earn the power crystals from the Dino Ranger spirit. The team was sent to retrieve the 5 crystals with difficulty, as Rita does not want the warrior to return. After a long and tedious trial, the Rangers end up retrieving the crystals. After they reunited their hearts, the warrior spirit spoke to them. After seeing time and time again, the Rangers did live up to their expectations, and also, with the power of teamwork, the Rangers were granted by the Dino Ranger spirit to form the Megazord. However, the Megazord is not his true form. One more part of his spirit resides in the mysterious long-lost Emerald Crystal. The final piece to the puzzle is the 6th Dinozord. After successfully taming the Zords could change into battle bikes. This is used to travel to places. Not all areas can be teleported because Zordon's teleport network is not always absolute. Same as Rita's teleport system. Otherwise, Rita could just teleport and attack the Rangers in their homes. Finally, the 6th Dinozord arc. During the medieval period, there were Rita worshippers spreading chaos and death upon discovering the numerous discarded wands of Rita. Zordon was reawakened, and alongside the Zords, they called for the fighting spirit of the ancient Dino Ranger. Although the cult is equal to the power of the Dino Ranger, the witches found the Emerald Crystal of the warrior in battle. They stole and abducted the green Parasaur Zord, hoping to use it to free Rita. The cult of Rita tried to tame the Parasaur Zord with different chaos magic, but it just mutated it into a more powerful being, becoming the Dragon Zord, making it stronger than all the other 5 Zords combined. In time, the Dragon Zord succumbs to the witch's mind control over it, when the witches merges the green crystal to a golden magical flute, forming the Dragon Dagger. The cult made the Dragon Zord ransack towns and cities. Many fables of the evil dragons during the medieval period were based off of the Dragon Zord. As the Dragon Zord tried fighting back, the evil witches drained its powers to create the Dragon Shield, which exhausted the Dragon Zord from being able to come back to its senses. The creation of the Dragon Shield caused a huge burst of energy, destroying the witches, ending the cult of Rita immediately, and sending the Dragon Zord back to its slumber. In its most energy-saving state, the Dragon Shield and Dragon Dagger transformed into the Dragon Zord coin, which was then long lost. After the cult of Rita was gone, the Dino Ranger and Zordon was sent back to their slumber to heal and re-energize. Later, Rita rediscovered her medieval cult followers' mutation of the Parasaur Zord. The Queen of Evil sent her spy, Scorpina, to discover the Dragon Zord coin. After a few episodes, Rita then uses her magic with the Dragon Zord coin, which produced her evil Green Ranger powers. None of her nor her minions could wield the powers, as it could only be bestowed by the Dragon Zord. Not even in mind control, it could be forced to give up its powers. The Dragon Zord later picked the teenager it deemed worthy. Thus, Rita followed through and captured Tommy Oliver, a powerful but unsuspecting teenager, to become her Green Ranger, sparking the evil Green Ranger arc. During that time, when Jason was captured by Rita, Zack learned to step up as a leader to lead the team. He soon learned from Trini. With her support, Zack was able to wise up and take over as leader during Jason's absence. After the Green Ranger arc, we also see Trini and Jason forming a romance and understanding each other's differences, such as martial arts and gymnastics. The two learned the appreciation as spectators for each other's respective sports. Speaking of romance, it would have been interesting to see Goldar's main reason to fight with Rita was because he wishes to win over Scorpina. Scorpina does share a romantic feel with Goldar, but her primary function is to be Rita's spy, not only to spy on the Rangers, but for other invasive forces she needs to fend off to ensure Earth is secure to be Rita's target. Scorpina is very busy fighting off other evil aliens that are not within Rita's faction. Later, she will not dare to cross Lord Zedd, Rita's boss, who uses her for the same feature. Also, Squat and Baboo needs to have more of a reason to be there. They could be scouts. Squat joined Rita to have her magic to help him regain his intelligence. For some reason, he believes he used to be an intelligent professor from his home planet but lost all his memories. He used for retcon missions directly against the Rangers and enjoys drinking glow-in-the-dark green liquids that smells like oil. Baboo and Finster are magical rivals, fighting over each other for Rita's approval. Baboo wishes to collect all artifacts of his race, while Finster wants to resurrect his own extinct race. He could achieve that through making putties of his own people and have Rita bring them to life permanently. Baboo focuses on potion making, while Finster is a magical sculptor. For example, Baboo successfully altered Kimberly and Billy's personality. He later created the potion that holds strong over Tommy and brainwashed him to become Rita's Green Evil Ranger. Throughout Season 1, Baboo sabotages the Rangers' teamwork through his potions. An example would be giving Kimberly nightmares, which inspired new monsters and delusions of her peace project being ruined by putties. His potion also gave alchemic properties for Nasty Knight's sword, ruining the power weapons. Also, during Titania's debut, Baboo spiked Tommy's food, which removes his inhibition. This makes him see himself already as a leader of the Power Rangers, while he was just a new member. However, he was able to work and overcome these ambitious feelings with Jason. This impressed Titanus, who granted them the Thunderslingers and joined their forces.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe for How to Fix Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2.
Hello Riders and Rangers. Before we start, because it might offend certain viewers, I've been suggested to rename this series to Reimagined Power Rangers. Thank you for joining us to Reimagine MMPR Season 2. Without further ado,
it's morphin' time!
The Green Candle arc, Tommy eventually losing his Green Ranger powers, should be established ever since he joined Zordon's side. Despite the Rangers gaining two powerful allies, there is a lingering danger where Tommy is a ticking time bomb or a jet running low on fuel but the fuel gauge is hidden. We all know he will eventually lose all his powers. The stakes are high. Dragon Zord coin gives Tommy his powers, but because the powers originated from Rita, it is limited. Zordon warns Tommy to use his powers sparingly and only calls him in when the team absolutely needs it. Green Ranger's days are at a countdown, so when all 6 Rangers morph together, the audiences know they're in for a crazy episode. But Tommy still stays in the command center to help strategize here and there, training and sparring with fellow Rangers like interning to be a mentor. The limited power has been Rita's contingency plan. Furthermore, since the beginning, Baboo's mind control potion over Tommy has a safety switch. Whenever Tommy has the Green Ranger powers, despite being unmorphed, it actually slowed his thinking even after the mind control spell was broken. Such unwise decisions include Tommy always leaves his communicator behind and getting into unnecessary arguments to be the leader because the potion fogs his mind. At the end, even though Rita speeds up draining Tommy's powers with the green candle, Tommy's intelligence is back to 100% when the spell is completely gone. But before Rita could take control of the Dragon Zord, Tommy passed his Dragon Zord coin, dagger, and shield to Jason, so the Rangers could still control the Dragon Zord before it fell to Rita's hands. The Dragon Zord's powers are also limited, and it will eventually lose its powers as well. It was near summer when Tommy lost his Green Ranger powers for good. He left Angel Grove after the end of the year dance with Kimberly. Jason had a hard time leading the team. Zack and Trini helped Jason to snap back from all the self-blaming and despair of failing Tommy. Jason originally wants to step down as a ranger and leave the team due to guilt. Zack showed Jason, even though he has failed Tommy, he has not failed the rest of the team. Setbacks happen. Nobody is perfect. Trini encourages Jason to stay on as leader as well. Once Jason receives a letter from Tommy telling him not to sweat it, Jason gets over his biggest failure. During this time, the Dragon Zord also has an arc as he misses Tommy a lot, like a dog missing their owner. In time, Jason and Dragon Zord consolidated with each other and became a good team. After Jason got over the self-blaming and Dragon Zord fully entrusting him, Jason was able to morph directly into the armored Tyranno Ranger to show he is the true successor of the Dragon Shield. Thunder Zord arc, Rita's boss, Lord Zedd, sees her incompetent in taking over the Earth and excommunicates her. He lost his patience after 10,000 years of waiting for Earth to be conquered. Zedd needs Earth to be conquered because Earth is on the other side of the demon portal. When the planet is within Zedd's control, they can open a portal into the entrance of the underworld so he can recruit demons living in a pocket dimension. The only doorway to the demonic realm is through a conquered Earth. What Zordon did for the past 10,000 years was to prevent Rita from transforming Earth into a key to open the pocket dimension. If it happens, Earth becomes a black hole, and everything on the planet will be lost forever. All the Zords have been disabled by Lord Zedd's Monster of the Day. That monster also destroyed the Rangers' power crystals and thunder slingers. Sadly, this also meant the spirit of the Dino Ranger died in battle. The Megazord can never be formed again, unless there's a crossover MorphX explanation, nudge nudge, wink wink. Each Ranger needs to have their own solo quest to gain an upgrade of their Zords through trial and tribulation. Unfortunately, the Dragon Zord cannot make more room for an upgrade because it is at its final evolved form, since the Dragon Zord originally was the Parasaur Zord. With Lord Zedd badly damaging the Dragon Zord while it tries to defend the other disabled Zords, the Dragon Zord is barely hanging to life. During the final battle with Dragon Zord in the earlier episode, it was blasted by the Monster of the Day, which glasses some of its scales. One of the scales turned into a jewel. At its most weakened state, Jason returns the Dragon Zord coin to the Dragon Zord. With the amount of powers within the coin, at least it could keep it alive yet in a comatose state. It would take a long time for the Dragon Zord to heal. Jason can no longer use the Dragon Zord powers. This arc will be a spiritual journey where Zordon has found 5 dormant yet powerful spirits of thunder. These are the creators of the Thunder Slingers. These spirits will need to screen each of the teenagers to see if they are truly worthy to gain their full power. The spirit would merge the remnant of the crystal bits and thunder slingers to create the thunder orbs. Meanwhile, Lord Zedd sends his minions to hunt each ranger down and sabotage their journey. Titanus remained dormant during this time as it was stabilizing Dragon Zord from its wounds. Zack's journey, Squat was sent to hunt down Zack. He released an army of spiders in the cave where the Emerald Spirit is located. Zack overcomes his childhood fear. He outsmarts Squat, who accidentally sends the army of spiders to web himself up instead of Zack. Our hero was able to retrieve the Lion Thunder Orb bestowed by the Thunder Spirit of Courage. As the Black Ranger, Zack will bring others out of the fear of darkness with the courage of the lion. Billy's quest. He encounters a strange talking young deer baby who wishes to teach him an important lesson despite her short, fragile life while he is being hunted by Finster and Baboo. Finster and Baboo were about to capture Billy, but Finster has a revelation. He revealed to Baboo that his loyalty is still to Rita, and Baboo shared the same sentiment. Perhaps having a stronger group of Rangers may make them relevant to Lord Zedd's use again. Thus, the two decided to half-heartedly accomplish their task and just terrorize the nature park that Billy was in. In time, Billy warded off the two minions through protecting nature. He gains his powers by learning his new achievement is about protecting not just humans, but all creatures, big and small, on Earth. The baby deer is the embodiment of the Sapphire Thunder Spirit of all life. He earns the Unicorn Thunder Orb. Kimberly and Trini, while they were searching for the orb, the two were hunted by Scorpina. During this time, the two spirits turned the girls against each other by transforming them into conjoined human putty hybrids, horrifying and being jeered at by bystanders. This was a test by the spirits. Although the two wanted to give up at first, the two motivated each other to be determined and retrieve their orbs by powering through this peer pressure. At the end, with their hearts together, they were able to morph into a pink and yellow Ranger hybrid, thwarting Scorpina. Then they obtained their respective Thunder Orbs, Firebird Cortez and Griffin Amber, which nullified the spirit's transformation. The two spirits represent the powers of friendship and teamwork. Jason's trek. Being hunted by Goldar while traveling to the Nogard waterfall to find his orb, he encounters many obstacles and later was rescued by a mysterious armored talisman before he fell off a cliff. He tells Jason he could help and gives him 4 power coins from his partners. These can summon his teammates, Kimberly, Billy, Trini, and Zach, to aid in reaching his goal. As each of these teammates falls one by one, either in the dangerous obstacles or Goldar's forces sacrificing themselves to help Jason continue on his journey, Jason shows his true colors. When given the choice between getting the Crimson Orb and saving his teammates, he chooses to leave this new power behind and rescue his teammates. Goldar reaches to grab the orb but is electrocuted, as it has been surrounded by a trap set by the armored talisman. Goldar retreats and the armored talisman appears, stating that if Jason had gone for the orb, Jason would have been electrocuted with negative proton energy, which would strip him of being able to become a Power Ranger ever again. All those teammates he has rescued are illusions, but Jason proved himself. This is the trial of the leader. Jason earns the Red Dragon Thunder Orb from the Armored Talisman, who is the Thunder Spirit of Leadership. The Armored Talisman is modeled after the Red Dragon Thunder Zord Warrior mode, and also gives him the power to create the Thunder Zord Assault Formation, Thunder Megazord Arc. As it takes time for the Dinozords to be adjusted to the new powers, only the Tyrannosaurus Zord was able to adjust to the Thunder powers as the Red Dragon Thunder Zord. For a while, they only used the Crimson Thunder Zord's Warrior mode when battling giant monsters. In time, the other Dinozords were able to join together to create the Thunder Zord Assault Team. However, they still were unable to create the Thunder Megazord yet. With that, they need a huge power surge. As Lord Zedd is too busy fending off other legions trying to take over his other space territories, he calls in the powerful Dengig Tai that has the power to revive fallen monsters, so Zedd can ensure his monsters can be revived every time they are destroyed in the future. But Dengig Tai revived 4 of Lord Zedd's monsters and claims he does not approve of how Rita was treated. The 5 of them mutinied against Zedd, however the evil warlord is much more powerful. Thus Zedd exiled these 5 monsters to Earth in hopes to cause as much chaos and destruction as possible while he is away. The Rangers were alerted to their presence and the 5 monsters easily defeated the Rangers. But through determination, the Rangers were to push back and escape. Trini, seeing how the monsters were empowered by Lord Zedd's staff, the power-up looked similar. She asked Billy to take samples of the energy signals of the monsters. Trini and Billy analyzed and found the monsters' energy signals parallel to the Thunder Spirits, implying Zedd could have been a corrupted Thunder Spirit. Trini came up with the idea to absorb the monsters' powers, which could then be strong enough to power up to form the Thunder Megazord. Alpha and Billy engineered and executed her idea. The Thunder Zords now have lightning rods installed that can absorb Zedd's monsters' residue energies. The next time the Rangers encountered the 5 monsters, thanks to Tommy's guidance and strategizing, the Rangers were able to defeat the monsters and tried to absorb the monsters' thunder powers. Not willing to give up until they avenged Rita and fallen comrades, the monsters grew in size and the Rangers tried to fight back in the Thunder Zord Assault Team, but were not as effective. The monsters were able to beat up the Zords badly and send in a lot of damages. The rods were not working because the residue energy was too little. When Zedd returns, he realized what the Rangers were doing and decides to power up the Thunder Zord himself so the monsters could be destroyed. Finster asked why. Zedd said this can help him take data from the Thunder Zords for a new project, and the Rangers could help him execute the traitors.
After enough threshold of powers were absorbed, Trini and Billy unleashed the thunder powers they've collected, heals the Thunder Zords, and were able to form the Thunder Megazord. Seeing how ineffective it was to send in 5 monsters at once, Lord Zedd decides never send in multiple monsters ever again. Realizing the Zords have an upgrade on absorbing his thunder powers, it gives him an idea in the long run. Have the Zords absorb his energy, and Zedd is going to collect data of the Thunder Zords for his diabolical pet project. In the meantime, the Zords able to absorb powers give the traitorous Finster and Baboo an idea. White Ranger Power Arc. After the Green Ranger powers were decimated, Alpha and Zordon have been trying to develop new Ranger powers. It took a while until they finally found the 6th spirit of the Earth, and only Titanus was powerful to contain them. Thus, these powers are white. During Tommy's long absence, Zordon has secretly sent him on his spiritual quest to seek out the snowy-colored orb. Once Tommy reaches the top of the highest peak of the icy mountain as Zordon has instructed, he was greeted by a figure in a tiger mask. ornate robes and headdress. It presents itself as the White Tiger Spirit. The Pearly Phantom asks Tommy to join him, and together with the powers, they can rule the Earth side by side. With the White Tiger Zord powers, Tommy can be a rich celebrity after he reveals his identity to the world. Tommy turned down the chance for fame and fortune. The white-clad ghoul begs him to use its thunder energies and bring the fight to Lord Zedd's moon base. Tommy said that's escalating the battle and goes against Zordon's rules. He explains Zedd has a scorched earth policy. If the moon base ever gets attacked, Zedd won't hesitate to lose the chance of gaining his demon army and destroy the planet by just a flick of his Z-staff. The soul of the White Tiger says this world is so weak they can let Lord Zedd destroy the Earth and then remake it to Tommy's own image. Tommy refuses to sacrifice the Earth just to fight evil through evil means. The spirit chuckles they can destroy Zordon. Zordon has influenced Tommy, the once great and mighty Green Ranger, into a weaker shadow of his former self. Humanity and mercy make the Rangers weaker than ever. After hearing all this ambitious, power-hungry, and inhumane suggestions, Tommy sighs and shakes his head. He turned down the White Tiger powers. He told the spirit he will never use the powers for evil. The chalk-white figure transforms into a ferocious white tiger and attacks Tommy. Tommy defends himself from the White Tiger spirit. Tommy puts up a good fight, but he is dominated by the powers of the White Tiger. The Phantom claims Tommy needs his powers, but Tommy still refuses to gain any power for evil. Never again. The spirit then lets go of Tommy and says he has passed the trial. The spirit transforms into a chalky crystal orb and a new power coin. The thunder spirit is derived from light and cleanses all darkness. It can never be used by evil forces. Could never be stolen again. If Tommy gets corrupted, the powers will never function for him. Tommy has gained the White Tiger Thunder Orb and Tiger Zord coin. The White Tiger is the spirit of a mentor. So, Zordon is preparing Tommy to be a righteous mentor. Brachio power. Oh wait, I'm a few seasons too soon, huh? By the end of this arc, Tommy becomes the Mighty Morphin White Ranger. Using a battery as an analogy, the power of thunder spirits are like electricity. The Zords are the capacitors containing it so it won't overcharge the Ranger. When Tommy calls upon his Tiger Zord, Titanus is struck by thunder and transforms into the Tiger Zord. However, at first it took a while for the White Tiger Zord to be adjusted to its current state, as it is more used to being a carrier Zord for the past 10,000 years. The White Tiger Spirit also guides Tommy in the form of his personalized weapon, Saba. Lord Zedd's monsters. There are about 50 of Lord Zedd's sleeping agents placed all over the Earth since Rita's first invasion. Criminals from Zordon and Zedd's homeworld of Eltar. Their ages ranging between 16 Earth years to ancient. These agents are recruited by Zedd to collect data of Rita and Zordon for him when he wants to invade. Zedd has done this to many planets he saw on his invasion menu, including Aquitar and Triforia. These fallen Eltarians swore loyalty to Lord Zedd and were hiding in plain sight in either human forms or unsuspecting items. The items alter its forms as time passes by with a similar theme. For example, 1,000 years ago, Dengig Tai used to be ancient Chinese cards called Madiao. Now, in modern times, it is disguised as poker cards. But to avoid them from planning a resurrection against Zedd, the warlord nerfed all the monsters' powers and only gives them a power-up when he calls upon them, as seen with Dengig Tai's insurgency. Without Lord Zedd's powers, the Zedd monsters hold little powers and are usually dormant or sleeping agents. It isn't until the monsters are struck by Zedd's staff, then they are charged up to its full potential to fight, making Baboo and Finster feel obsolete and useless. However, each time Zedd does this, a fraction of his life force is used, draining him to the point he needs to hibernate at some point. The Zedd monsters' personalities are unusually cruel for no reason. If you get randomly bullied by a classmate or teacher or that Karen customer, it's probably one of the Zedd monsters in disguise. One of Zedd's monsters is a white cat, used to spy on the Rangers in the neighborhood. You probably figured out who this is already. Tor the Shuttlezord arc. Remember one of Dragon Zord's scale got glazed into a jewel? Skull found it, and because he didn't know what to give Bulk for his birthday, he decides to take up a craftsmanship class, polished, and gave it to Bulk as his birthday gift. In time, it gave Bulk a new personality, which is stoic and fair, that confuses the two but impressed everyone else. This is like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality, unleashing Bulk's true feelings of doing good without any personal gains or selfish agendas, but because he cares for others, inspired by the Power Rangers. During a giant monster battle with the Thunder Zords, Bulk and Skull are trying to help civilians from falling debris. The two rushed out to shield civilians. Bulk was in between his most stressful state and heroic moment, which unleashed the power of the jewel. The moment before Bulk gets crushed by a giant pillar, in that blink of a second, Bulk wishes he has a giant shell that could protect people. Without warning, the jewel transforms Bulk into Tor the Shuttlezord. Intuitively, Bulk allied himself with the Rangers, despite not knowing who the Rangers were. The Shuttlezord has some of the chaos energy of the Dragon Zord. Thus, it is green, but it also leeches energy from Zedd's monsters, providing perpetual recharging within him and the rest of the Zords. With the excess energy absorbed from Lord Zedd's monsters, the Thunder Zords could form the Thunder Ultrazord. The excess powers are transferred into the Shuttlezord, which also acts as a medical chamber to heal and re-energize Zords. Skull knows of this and helps Bulk keep this Zord identity a secret. At first, Skull resents Bulk for being a super tank and feels less of himself when being next to Bulk for being able to help the Rangers. But the two settles the drama after Bulk tells Skull his true feelings. It is Skull who inspired him to do good. Without Skull, he would not have seen the importance of friendship and the Rangers' values, which makes him care more for everyone. Skull makes him a bigger person, with the metaphor of Skull giving Bulk the power jewel, turned him into a hero. Peace Conference Arc. During the introduction of Rocky, Aisha, and Adam, we should let the new members slowly bond with the old team. Let there be conflicts and have them be resolved by understanding each other's differences. Tommy did not replace Jason as the leader until he left for the peace conference. Using the data he has collected from the Thunder Zords, Zedd sends in a dark wizard to alter time and create a clone Tommy. Zedd cloned the White Tiger Zord powers as well, but it failed. Thus, Zedd used half of his life force to create a Dragon Zord coin, sparking the Green Ranger versus White Ranger conflict. When the saga was over, Zedd got what he wanted, the coordinates of the dormant Dragon Zord. However, the Dragon Zord was too weak to fight, thus still remains in hibernation. Seeing this as his new opportunity and with enough powers he has been saving, Zedd broke the laws of Zord evolution. Zord gambled it all and used 90% of his powers to clone the Dragon Zord the way he cloned Tommy, and gave it the 4th upgrade, turning the Dragon Zord duplicate into Serpentera. It has been increased in size and power, even giving it the power of flight. This cloning, upgrading, and constant mind control over the godlike Zord, fortunately, exhausts Zedd, which affected his leadership skills and powers, turning him into a joke. This may also explain why Zedd cannot always power up Serpentera. The new Zord is powerful, but not always efficient. It needs a lot of recharging. Speaking of the peace conference, when the 3 new members of Rocky, Aisha, and Adam became the Rangers, they were tested by the 3 respective Thunder Spirits. Their task was to retrieve the Sword of Light for the power transfer. In their journey, the 3 were tempted to turn on each other, faced obstacles, and were tested in courage. However, at the end, the 3 new heroes succeeded in retrieving the Sword of Light. However, more energy was needed to have a power transfer of the Thunder Spirits. Zedd's ego sabotaged his attempt to sabotage Rocky, Aisha, and Adam's task to retrieve the sword. Even when faced with the death of the godlike Zord, the 3 showed more bravery than what the Thunder Spirits could ever had imagined, thus were accepted by the Thunder Spirits. But as the power transfer still lacked energy, therefore the Thunder Spirits decides to cross into the Rangers' realm of reality and directly bond with the current team of Rangers, as the Tiger Spirit had bonded with Tommy. This event transmutated the 5 power coins. Jason, Trini, and Zach kept the Jew Ranger suits. But for the new team, out with the Jew Ranger suits, in with the Die Ranger suits. However, this spirit bonding makes the Thunder Spirits vulnerable, for now they are in the battle rather than just powering the Rangers up. They are no longer immortal, which shows how much is at stake here with Zedd. Each new member is quite different. If possible, I'd like to make the new team members as different to the original 3 as much as possible than the actual TV series, including their Rangers colors. I'd like Adam to be the Red Dragon Ranger, Rocky is the Yellow Griffin Ranger, and Aisha is the Green Lion Ranger. Rest of the Rangers remain to their respective colors. Tommy is the White Tiger Ranger, Billy is Blue-Winged Unicorn Ranger, and Kimberly is the Pink Firebird Ranger. Aisha is an animal lover and volunteers after animal shelter. She's the most popular girl in school, making her a student president and the heart of the team. But her biggest problem she has to overcome would be being a perfectionist. Her high demand of others to be perfect 100% all the time clashes with the laid-back Rocky. The 2 learns to sort their differences through balance throughout the season. Fan of promoting healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle, Rocky teaches cooking class at school, basically became best friends with Kimberly. The 2 share their interests in being gymnastic enthusiasts. From him, Kimberly learns to balance between love life and friendship. She learns how to divide her time not to just be with her boyfriend Tommy 24/7, but can actually hang out with her friends. Tommy got jealous of Rocky being with Kimberly at first, but learns to trust Kimberly. Later, Kimberly also teaches Rocky how to get a girlfriend. An underdog soccer goalie who uses his boxing skills and captain of the recycling club, Adam later became close best friends with Billy. As Billy's Season 1 arc is to learn to be a martial artist. While Adam is trying his best not to revolve his life around boxing his dad has indoctrinated in him. Adam's dad wants him to become a national boxer, which puts him under a lot of pressure and discourages him away from playing soccer. Adam later learned how to balance time in his craft and what he is passionate about thanks to Billy Overtime. Adam also learned about overcome the feeling of being underappreciated because goalies are not that well beloved no matter how good they are. That is how Billy used to feel in class, as his top academia does not seem to resonate with anyone else. Squat, Baboo and Finster's character arc throughout Season 2. During Rita's exile, Baboo placed a potion on the dumpster which would make it boomerang back to the moon base before Zedd tossed it to the edge of the galaxy. While working under Zedd, Baboo and Finster feel obsolete with how powerful Zedd was. The two lament for Rita's return to feel useful again. The two have been secretly sabotaging Zedd's monsters to make them have pathetic weak points, so maybe Zedd would appoint these two to make monsters when Eltar criminals run out. For example, Finster deliberately created weak points on the Z putties, where they'll fall apart after being punched on the Z part of the chest. Baboo placed an anemophobia potion on a number of Zedd monsters to be highly vulnerable to wind-based spin attacks. Example would be Pipe Brain and Lip Syncer. Finster also sabotaged Serpentera to drain its batteries, collecting it and sending it to the White Tiger Zord and Tor Shuttlezord on purpose. The two hope to be relevant henchmen again. Later, with Baboo's prediction, Zedd indeed fell into a deep hibernation sleep after wasting so much energy on creating Serpentera. When Rita finally returns just as Baboo predicted, she instructs him and Finster to create the love potion in the subsequent season for Rita to control Lord Zedd. With Rita by Zedd's side, she decided not to use Serpentera unless they really need to conserve energy. Serpentera is just Zedd's ego vanity project, as if he wants to compare Zord sizes with Zordon. Finster and Baboo work together to make stronger monsters than before to compete with Zedd's exiles. So here's MMPR Season 2 Reimagined. I hope you like it. Personally, I love the Die Ranger suits and Thunder Zords. Those are my favorite Sentai designs. Period. I am more than happy to include the Die Ranger suits into Season 2. And hey, our first Asian Red Ranger, how cool is that? Nah, that's not gonna happen in real life, so how would you have handled the Die Ranger suits? Would you have included it into your version? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3 Reimagined. Here's a recap of Season 2. The Rangers gained new Die Ranger suits and an upgrade of their Dino Zords thanks to the Thunder Spirits. Bulk can morph into Tor the Shuttlezord thanks to a shard of a piece of glass Dragon Zord scale. There are 3 new Rangers that replace the old ones. Red Dragon Ranger Adam Park, Green Lion Ranger Aisha Campbell, and Yellow Griffin Ranger Rocky Desantos. Feeling incompetent under new management, Finster and Baboo have been secretly sabotaging Zedd's forces to make themselves look more competent until Rita's return. The most memorable would be draining of the Serpentera's power source and leeching it to the Thunder Megazord, causing it to shut down from time and time again. However, this proves to be a win for Lord Zedd in the long run. For this season, we are introduced to the newest boss-type villain who arrived to Zedd's roster, Warlock Rita Revolto, despite Goldar, Finster, Squat, and Baboo's protests. They are all aware of who Rito really was. Rito Revolto is not Rita Repulsa's brother in this version. Baboo attempts to kill him by throwing a flask of explosive potions, only for Rito to be unharmed, protected by a bubble shield. Goldar sends a fire blast at him, but Rito blasts him with his flamethrower. Zedd electrocutes Goldar and Baboo for this insolence. Lord Zedd explains Rito's purpose was to locate a mysterious alien power source on Earth, known as the Zeo Crystals. It can be used to open up cracks between this dimension and the demon realm. As we are reminded, Zedd will have his demon army when Earth has been transformed into a portal. In this season, Rito and the rest of the villains will be sending in attacks as a diversion while sending his scouts out to locate the extraterrestrial energy signal. Unlike Zedd's monsters that are criminals of Eltar, Rito's monsters of the day are supernatural entities that existed across the galaxy called Hakushi. We would know them as poltergeists or ghouls. Before joining the Evil Alliance, Rito Revolto has been a galaxy wanderer, collecting these supernatural entities like a boy collecting insects as his pastime. He has been feeding on these entities' energies to produce necromancy magic, which corrupted his original form. Rito used to look humanoid, but his devotion to macabre divination, gaining him more power, corrupted his original form, but Rito Revolto does not care. Amongst a few other planets, Earth has been one of his collection boxes, and he has been placing these evil supernatural beings scattered across Earth. Ancient Japanese yokai legends and myths have been inspired by them. They are foot soldiers of this season. They are reused suits of Die Ranger foot soldiers caught potros. The Hakushi are shapeshifters with limited to low telepathy and telekinesis. They are only strong enough to play pranks, causing minor inconveniences. Next time you try to understand why you were late with so many coincidental minor inconveniences at the same time, it's probably caused by them. Hakushi are imps that feed on negative emotions, and nothing pleases them more than giving you a bad day. It isn't until Rito gives them a power boost, then the Hakushi is strong enough to be as dangerous as Zedd or Rita's monster general. Then, the chosen Hakushi foot soldier would turn into the yokai general, Jungle Fury style. The more cruel, more sadistic, more evil their intentions are, the more powerful they can become. Fun fact, Hakushi means blank paper in Japanese because the Patros reminds me of black notebooks with white papers. Yokai means ancient supernatural monsters, spirits or ghouls in Japanese. Does Rito still uses the Tenga warriors? Yes, he does, but the Tenga warriors are more of an elite class of foot soldiers, beneath a yokai general. Usually Tengas are used for recon missions and scouting. During Rito's first battle, by sending 5 yokai generals, they transformed into 5 monsters dreaded by the Rangers in the past season. With so much energy used, Rito needed to take a break and stood away from the front line for a while. The appearances of the Hakushi surprised the Rangers as well, since they have never seen this type of foot soldiers before. The Rangers skillfully fought against the yokai, thinking they were resurrected past villains. It showed how each Ranger has improved when compared to the past season, able to handle each general on their own. They successfully defeated the yokais, but as per usual, the yokais turned into giants with a different form. During the Zord battle, the Thunder Zords were overcharged and imploded, which was Zedd's plan all along. Zedd was losing battle after battle because he knew the Zords were absorbing his energies and would finally be overcharged, damaging it from within. Unfortunately, Zedd successfully destroyed the Thunder Spirits. Fortunately, they gave their lives protecting the Rangers, giving their last Thunder Elemental Essence to our heroes. But the Rangers were still unable to unlock it without an Elemental Ninpu Master's help. Then this season, it explains why Rito will summon 1 yokai general once per each battle. Despite the yokai destroying the Thunder Zords, they end up fighting each other, because they see themselves as no longer mere yokais. Somehow believing destroying Thunder Spirits enable the entitlement equal to the godlike Ninja Quartet. Who is the Ninja Quartet? How are they related to yokais? The 5 fought and destroyed each other to Rito's shock, while much to Squat, Baboo and Finster's amusement, and of course Zedd's irritation. Zedd's main plan this time is to use the supernatural Hakushi to find weak points between the Earth Realm and the Demonic Realm, to see if he can find a way to break the dimensional barrier and directly access the demons. Each time when the Rangers foils their plan, the weak point would be healed by the Ranger's essence, and Zedd is forced to locate another weak point again. If he has the power of the Zeo crystals, he could try to use it to break into dimensions. When Rito destroyed the Thunder Zords during the start of Season 3, Bulk sacrificed the perpetual powers of Tor the Shuttlezord to resurrect the Zords, but the powers were only compatible to save Titanus, as both were carrier-type Zords. With the death of the Thunder Spirits, Tiger Zord can never be returned. But these events helped Bulk and Skull grow as stronger people. That was why they decided to join the police academy to do good, indirectly attracting a lot of ladies, when they do good things from the kindness of their hearts. Ironically, when they do things with an agenda, it turned girls away. This teach boys at home, don't be a nice guy unless you mean no reward. Throughout this season, Bulk and Skull's antics and friendship act as a mirror for the Rangers when they feel like adversity is driving them apart. After Titanus' resurrection, it is still healing from the implosion. He didn't join the fight until later. With the loss of the Thunder Spirits and Zords, the Rangers lost their ability to morph. As it has been established, the Zords give the Rangers their ability to morph. This leads to the Rangers seeking out Ninjor, the master of the elements, to see if he could unleash the recessive Thunder Spirit energy from within the Rangers. Ninjor was an ancient ally of Zordon. During ancient times, Ninjor had disappeared into his ninja pocket dimension after a battle against Scorpina. Zordon has been wondering if he went into self-exile for future self-training. The ninja quest was to locate and find Ninjor using the information Alpha and Zordon had collected after all these centuries. The Rangers were sent to locate the Ninjor in a strange labyrinth pocket dimension designed by the Ninja Master himself. After the Rangers solved a series of riddles and avoided booby traps, the Ranger found a concealed flask. Inside were Ninjor and the Ninja Zord. The Rangers broke the flask and freed the Ninja Masters. After witnessing the Rangers valiantly go through the ninja traps with this dimension, the Ninja Zords bestowed the Ninja Scrolls to the Rangers, which restored their powers. Imagine the Rangers' power coins as a light bulb and the Dinozord powers as a battery. Now the Dinozord battery is gone and is replaced with the Ninja battery instead, but the Ranger light bulb still lights up. Ninjor also unlocked the Thunder Spirit's essence, aka the Die Ranger Chi powers. However, it was not strong enough to restore the Dinozords nor the Thunder Zords. This time, the Rangers' power coins are not linked to the Ninja Zords, but are directly linked to Ninjor's Ninja Temple. The Thunder Spirit's essence are binded to the power coins instead. The destruction of the Zords caused a huge toll on their abilities. Thus, the Rangers need to master the elemental powers in the ways of ninja to be as powerful as before. The morph call of this season is as follows. Tommy's morph call is Falcon Ninja Ranger. Aisha's morph call is Frog Ninja Ranger. Kimberly's morph call is Crane Ninja Ranger. Billy's morph call is Wolf Ninja Ranger. Rocky's morph call is Bear Ninja Ranger. Adam's morph call is Ape Ninja Ranger. After realizing the Rangers got a new source of power, Rita sends his Tengas to infiltrate and destroy the Ninja Temple. The Rangers in training chased away the Tengas, but they left an egg there. When the egg hatched, Vampirus challenged Ninjor. But Ninjor and the Rangers summoned the Ninja Zord, cast away the monster, and closed up the entrance to his dimension. The Rangers do not use the ninjetti suits for battle, but mostly for training. In time, Ninjor helps the Rangers to master the elemental powers they were learning throughout this season. Adam learns how to create fire-based attacks. Tommy learns to produce sonic blasts. Aisha learns to create illusions. Rocky learns time manipulation. Billy learns gravity manipulation. Kimberly learns wind manipulation. But it wasn't until much later the Rangers learned to master the powers. As an additional gift, Ninjor bestows them with the power cannon and shuriken blades. With all their ninpu essence combined, they could unleash an effective finishing move. They will take time to master their ninpu before being able to use it. Ninjor has a battle mode which looks formidable, but in time, Rita was able to see through this battle mode. His strength was no different than his regular mode. Ninjor has just been hiding his true strength, but uses this different look as a scare tactic to frighten off opponents before the actual fight. As said before, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are given Zord allies, the Ninja Zords and Falcon Zord who saw them worthy. However, the Falcon Zord is fighting in a war for Triforia and is training a black-cladded warrior in gold armor, thus not available yet. But the Falcon Zord does join the fight later. When the Mega Falcon Zord is formed, later Titanus also joined into the battle after its full recovery and becomes the Ninja Ultra Zord. Backstory for the Ninja Quartet: Ninjor, Falcon Zord, Ninja Megazord, and Shogun Megazords all used to be blank Hakushis. However, even as Hakushis, evil emotions of other Hakushi disgust the four. Thus they wandered independently across the galaxy and landed in Japan when the ancient Japanese had just developed into a small village. Over centuries, they were influenced by the honors of the warrior. After being exposed to manifestation of ninjas' spirituality during feudal Japan rather than becoming yokai, they evolved into ninja spirits. The first possessed a lost katana of an honorable deceased Jonin and became Ninjor. The next two are greater yokai spirits, and each was able to split itself to 5 multiple entities. The second was the most powerful spirit. It chose 5 abandoned but respected shogun monuments as its vessels, and together it was combined into the Shogun Megazord. Third took custody of 5 scrolls of ape, crane, bear, wolf, and frog-styled ninjetti martial arts. When combined, this became the Ninja Megazord. The final Hakushi was originally a falcon yokai. With its merciful heart and kindness, this yokai approached and asked if he could ascend into ninja like them to do more good. The falcon yokai was accepted, and in his training becomes the White Falcon Zord. They are the physical embodiment of honorable and chivalry of shinobi. The Ninja Quartet became celebrated mysterious heroes amongst the peasants of feudal Japan, as they were protecting the innocents against evil Hakushi and other yokais. Ninjor is the manifestation of ninja righteousness. Falcon Zord is the manifestation of shinobi heart and mercifulness. Ninja Zord is the accumulation of intelligence and wisdom of the ninjetti. The Shogun Zord is the manifestation of daimyo strength. These 4 together are known as the Shinobi Quartet. Later, Zordon met these Shinobi Quartet and allied with each other, and summoned them to Aquitar during an uprising of evil yokai on the planet. Ninjor created 5 ninja power coins, which was later given to 5 chosen Aquitar warriors. The Zords and Ninjor trained and fought alongside the first team of Aquitar Rangers. These powers are known to be Aquitar powers, as it harnesses powers of the planet. Imagine the powers of Aquitar as a battery, and Ninjor's coins as a ninja light bulb. The powers of the planet powers up the ninja skill ability set by Ninjor. Under Zordon's request after the battle against Rita, and to avoid any Morphin Grid energies from poisoning chosen warriors, Ninjor was tasked to create the power coins for the Dino Zords. After the yokai uprising died down, the Falcon Zord, Ninja Zord and Shogun Zord fell into deep slumber. During the medieval period, Zordon requested Ninjor's help to fight against the witches in the cult of Rita. The fight was a stalemate. Ninja glory versus witch mastery. Medieval civilians mistake the Dragon Zord as an evil dragon, and Ninjor as a giant, mysterious, blue-clad knight as their savior. The medieval village children were so thankful of their mysterious hero, they crafted the N medallion for Ninjor, mistaking the word knight. Starting with the letter N, Ninjor wore it to show his appreciation for their heartwarming gratitude. Throughout medieval literature, this inspired ancient mythology about the knight in shining armor slaying the evil dragon. Due to escalation, Ninjor awakened the Ninja Zord and Falcon Zord for help. The witches decide to derive powers from the Dragon Zord to fight Ninjor. After the witches destroyed themselves after creating the Dragon Shield, Ninjor finds this dangerous piece of equipment has to be contained. Thus, the Dragon Shield, Dragon Dagger, and Chaos Dragon Zord green powers was to be stored inside the Dragon Zord coin Ninjor made. However, after the creation of the Dragon Zord coin, he was ambushed by Scorpina, who wanted to use the coin to free Rita. She was the one who founded and led the cult of Rita. The two fought, and the Ninja Zords joins in. Ninja and Ninja Zord create a portal and sends them into the Ninja Pocket Dimension to prevent any more harm on the civilians. As the battle is about to end, Zordon summons the Falcon Zord to aid Triforia against an evil mechanical takeover, as Ninjor sealed Scorpina inside the flask. Scorpina actually got hold of the coin and summoned the Dragon Shield. She used the Dragon Shield to break open the flask. As Ninjor was about to seal her again, Scorpina used the shield and deflected the powers back at him. The two ninja masters were sucked into the flask. But right before she does so, Ninjor sends Scorpina and the coin into a ninja pocket dimension, similar to Zordon, but on a much lower frequency. It took Scorpina a few centuries to escape it and gives the Dragon Zord coin to Rita in Season 1. Throughout all this time, Ninjor and the Ninja Zords ended up concealed in his own ninja dimension trap, floating across time and space. After being freed by the Rangers, Ninjor helps out the Rangers whenever he is called to, but would also travel and inspire the word of ninja to other planets. He is also a yokai hunter, in case any planets are succumbing to yokai uprising. As said in the previous season, Rita found one of Lord Zedd's spies on Earth disguised as a cat. This cat has wind-chasing abilities and is called Catherine Hillard. Rita decided to strike a deal with her in exchange for her freedom in the future. This reluctant spy cat was later adopted by Aisha and Kimberly, nicknaming her PC originally. She has a monster form, but was cleansed by Ninjor and the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. Cat has been altering between her human and cat form, proving to be very effective in bringing down the Rangers, especially creating winds that disrupts the Rangers' formation from time to time. Using her charming personality, Cat lured Tommy Oliver out of Ernie's juice bar to take a look at her car. Once Tommy had looked at her car, Cat offered to repay him by letting Tommy drive the car, an offer Tommy couldn't refuse. This was all simply a lure to kidnap Tommy, but the Rangers eventually rescued him from Zedd's dark dimension. While Cat was in her human form, she managed to also charm the other Rangers and became friends with her, not knowing her spy nature. During this time, Cat acted as a damsel in distress, while Rito conjured up the idea to steal Kimberly's power coin. As the two fights, Rito skillfully takes the Kimberly power coin from her morpher with his sword. Before Rito was about to harm her, Rita tells Rito to leave. Rita allowed the Warlock to use her spy because Rita has a plan to destroy Kimberly as painfully as possible. The Pink Ranger's powers had been drained over time when she lost her coin. Turns out, the Firebird Thunder Spirit used to guard the crystals before being recruited by Zordon. Zordon told the spirit to hide the crystal on Earth so nobody could find it. Using the pink power coin, Rito locates the Zeo crystal in the Caves of Deception. Zordon quickly sends in the Rangers, except Kim as she has stayed behind for a body scan. And Rito is intercepted by the Rangers. The Rangers tried to use their elemental attacks, but all the attacks were easily thrown back at them. Adam tries to use the Fire Blast at Rito, but Rito uses his firearm cannon, which overwhelms Adams. Billy uses his gravitational reverse and throws boulders at Rito, who throws them back to Billy like batting baseballs. Aisha tries to use illusions on Rito, but Rito breaks through her illusion attacks. No matter how hard Rocky tries to use reverse time to find better ways to defeat Rito, Rito always sees through his attacks and takes him down. Tommy tries to use his sonic blast, but it was just loud noises to Rito. He easily takes down Tommy. The 5 Rangers fired the power cannon at Rito, but he just swallowed the elemental blast like it was a breath mint. Warlock Revolto bragged he is an expert in ninpu, as he is a descendant of the best ninpu practitioners in the galaxy. Before Rito could put a finger on the weakened Rangers, he was called back to the moon base. It seems like he was called back to space to fight another force invading Zedd's territorial space. A mysterious mechanical being has been seen on the battlefront there, a rumored machine empire. Zordon notices Zedd is losing his focus on taking over the planet. Could it be the saviors from space joining to help the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Although the Zeo Crystal are within Zedd's possession, the energy powers are locked by a powerful seal and none of Zedd's forces could tap into it at all. With the shocking loss with the Zeo Crystal and Zedd de-escalating the battle on Earth, the Ranger Mentor sends the Rangers to Aquitar to experience a Ninpu boot camp, except Kimberly, as she has been too weak for the training. Ninjor is to be stationed on Earth to stay guard. Originally, Ninjor was sent to Triforia to help the matters there. Alpha's indirectly channeling powers into Kimberly's morpher temporarily, but she cannot access the Firebird Thunder Spirit's elemental powers as easily, and her powers are only a third of her former self. Kim remained on Earth and continued her gymnastic practice, which she was scouted by a gymnastic coach from Florida, but she turned him down for now as she sees it's more important to fight for the Earth. Zordon said he has no right to stop her from achieving her dreams and ask her to reconsider it. With her powers weakening, she wants to find a way to fight alongside the Rangers as she had before. Kimberly feels weak, and she sees a psychic medium. Perhaps some spiritual comfort could be of help. She meets this mysterious psychic medium. She tells Kimberly to use her mind over body, and taught her telepathically to connect her mind to spiritual energy. In time, Kimberly realizes she can connect her mind to the Morphin Grid. After discovering a gang of Hakushi trying to find portals to open into the demonic dimension, Kimberly skillfully takes them out as powerful as she had before with the power coin. This is dangerous, as Zordon said his Dino Ranger was killed by Morphin Grid radiation poisoning. Kimberly believes she was able to avoid this by allowing the Morphin Grid directly access her mind telepathically, thinking brainwaves would be harmless, unlike the Dino Ranger using his physical body. So every time Kim morphs, her mind is secretly paying the toll. And turns out the psychic medium was actually Rita in disguise. Kimberly is played like a fiddle. On Aquitar, there the Rangers complete their ninpu training, the elemental essence of their training, and ninjutsu, the art of concealment. The Ranger teachers would be the Power Ninja Rangers of Aquitar. There are underwater cities held by large bubbles produced by the shaman of the planet and her ancestors. Interestingly enough, the headgear on the Aquitians are like astronaut helmets, which helps them survive on land for a longer exposed period of time. For the setting of Aquitar, the Shinobi Quartet have inspired the planet globally. It's like a snapshot of medieval-era Japan with futuristic technology. The Aquitian city they are in is called West Metropolis. Weird enough, the current invaders of Aquitar are not just Zedd, but mechanical beasts as well, despite Hakushi existing there too. Rito Revolto was known to be collecting Hakushi around that area. Some Hakushi has descended on the planet for the past few millennia, but rather than being malevolent spirits of chaos, the waters of Aquitar baptized them to be calmer creatures. They evolved into a blue version of the Hakushi, reused suits of Dorodoros. Some became yokai. After a long period of time, they were adopted into the Aquitian society. As said before, the waters of Aquitar dampened their evil tendencies, but there are those who choose to be ruffians. That's when the Aquitian Rangers come to defeat them. The Aquitian Rangers are led by the Stingray Strike-Hand-style martial arts White Ninja Ranger Delphine Sui. Each Ranger is taught by an Aquitian Ranger during the Ninpu boot camp. We spend more time with the ninja teachers, while the Ranger learners develop their Ninpu through achieving inner peace and emotional balance. Parallel to Ninjor, Shogun Zord, Ninja Zord, and Falcon Zord, other than the White Ninja Ranger, the rest of the Ninja Rangers were originally yokai themselves. However, they each had a redemption arc and were chosen by the Shinobi Quartet to protect the bloodline of the White Ninja Ranger traditionally, like samurai. There were generations of White Ninja Rangers before her. Tommy learns sound wave control, creating sonar attacks which on land would help him create sonic blasts. The Wave Master is the White Ninja Ranger Delphine. She is a shaman like her ancestors before her and had been the head of the noble house of Sui. Delphine's ancestor was chosen by Aquitar, and the planet mystically channels its powers directly into him and later his bloodline. Thus, all White Ninja Rangers come from his bloodline. Many evil Hakushi and yokai has the intent of absorbing him, hoping to consume the powers of Aquitar. Thus, 4 other Rangers were selected to protect his bloodline. Delphine's ancestor, Sui the First, got the white ninja power coin from the shinobi soul after her ancestor tried his hardest to fight against the malevolent yokai that has existed there for centuries. But the first ninja White Ranger saw too much power as corruptible. Thus, he requested Ninjor to split the powers into 5 subdivisions of red, yellow, blue, black, and a powered-down white to ensure it was more balanced and equal. Sui the First wants the 4 fellow Rangers to keep him and his descendants in check, thus creating a 5-man team. White ninja power is inspired by the white thunder spirit of Earth. Each head of the noble house of Sui swore to fight for the people of Aquitar. If the Aquitarians find their actions inept, and if there is a vote of no confidence, the Ninja White Ranger will have to resign and allow another person of Sui to be chosen. So far, only one White Ranger has failed the Sui family name. His revolting act would be hunting yokai, both good and evil ones, for his personal gain of necromancy magic. He is later found out by fellow Aquitians of his cruelty, as this ranger has been using the powers attacking other Aquitians to test out his macabre divination. There were times he destroyed a village just because it was blocking his view of the sunset. Another time he destroyed a bubble shield of a city just to hear it pop for a giggle. This mad ranger was drunk with power. This word traveled to Ninjor, and his brother was chosen to lead the 4 rangers to take him down instead. The battle ended with his exile. The rangers connected this fallen White Ranger to the Morphin Grid. If he ever steps foot on the planet, the white ninja powers within him would electrocute himself to death. This revolting former White Ranger has been wandering the galaxy, collecting Hakushi for eternity. Delphine has the burden to live up to the name of Sui, to honor and ensure it will never be sullied like it has been done by this cruel former shaman. Yes, Rito Revolto is the excommunicated fallen White Ranger of Aquitar. That's why Zedd's crew doesn't trust him, and that's why Rita was able to block the Ranger's ninpu so easily. The Red Ninja Ranger teaches Adam electrokinesis, the true nature of Aquitar, flames that even burn underwater, aka electric fire. Adam's master, Red Ninja Ranger, is Oriko, the eternal flame. He used to be a Hakushi who lived amongst water monkeys. Aquitian water simians have similar properties to electric eels. Their skin has the ability to produce an electric current to defend themselves. Oriko was influenced by the goodness in monkeys, and later became an ape yokai with the title Simian Primate Protector amongst Aquitian simians. With his yokai powers, he is able to produce more electricity than the usual water monkey, to create thunder-like blasts, to fend off invasive forces and poachers who hunt the water monkeys for their electric skin. However, yokais are not eternal. Oriko fears his eventual end would stop other yokais from bullying his kind. After the shinobi quartets had allied with Zordon and was placed there, Oriko became ambitious and wanted to learn the ways of ninpu, of immortality. In time, Ninja Zord, seeing there is goodness within Oriko's intention, accepted him as his disciple. As Oriko gets more powerful and gains immortality from his impossible hellfire training, Oriko was able to train himself to the point his electric shocks can produce fires, later becoming the eternal flame. Oriko starts to get prideful, seeing he is the equivalent of the shinobi quartets. Oriko disturbs and steals territory from others, being the corrupted version of his cause. Oriko sees the best defense is an offense. Conquer them before they conquer you. The Simian Protector became a feudal lord that caused a lot of unwanted wars amongst fellow yokais, using his ninpu powers for aggression, no longer for defense. After his disruptions and nicknaming himself as the great equalizer of the shinobi quartet, the Ninja Zords came to stop him. Oriko arrogantly tried to fight the Ninja Zords, but failed. To keep Aquitar in balance, the shinobi quartets held Oriko under the Thunis mountain for eternal punishment. 500 years after Oriko's imprisonment, Sui the First was later chosen to be the ninja shaman of Aquitar to become a ranger. He has been traveling across the planet in a spiritual quest, redeeming and hunting evil yokai, training himself to better use the white ninja powers in hopes to spread the word of ninja amongst the common folk, as the shinobi quartet has been visiting planet to defend neighboring planet inhabitants. The White Falcon Zord, seeing there is a chance to redeem Oriko, came before the imprisoned ape yokai Oriko to repent and swear to protect Sui the First, which he immediately promised. When Sui the First finds Oriko, he frees the poor yokai. The Simian Lord swore to be Sui the First's apprentice to learn more about the ways of the ninja, not just the ninpu mythical skills, but the message behind it. He has been protecting Sui descendants ever since. Back in the present day, Billy completes his training in gyrokinesis and the importance of gravity manipulation underwater to keep things stable from the Blue Ninja Ranger. The Blue Ninja Ranger Chestro is the opposite of Billy in terms of intelligence, but tries her best to learn. In this version, this Blue Ninja Ranger is female. Chestro used to be an Aquitian but was cursed by a yokai shark bite, which transformed her into a were-shark yokai Aquitian hybrid. Chestro, unable to control her shark self, terrorized many in her way during the full moon. She couldn't shake off her were-shark curse and gave in to her bestial instincts. The Falcon Zord, wanting to help Chestro after Sui begs the legendary Zord, decides to give Sui the first the task to redeem Chestro. Chestro meets the first White Ninja Ranger and repents. She swore to follow Sui the First and his descendants. Sui promised to use Ninpu training to help Chestro control her sharkishness. Chestro becomes the Blue Ninja Ranger. Over time, Billy develops a love for Aquitian culture and starts to fall for Chestro. Over time, she returns the same feeling. They kept a long-distance relationship even after the Rangers had left the planet later. Yellow Ninja Ranger Tadeus teaches Rocky learns chronokinesis through understanding the theory of water memory. But how does this method help Rocky once he is back on Earth? Well, the thing is, there is water vapor in the air. That's what Rocky would use. Tadeus was originally the shelled squid nautilus yokai who fell in love with a beautiful mermaid who had no interest in him. Tadeus begged to learn from the Falcon Zord to have Ninpu powers to fight against evil yokai. The White Falcon Zord saw kindness in his heart and agreed. However, after Tadeus became skilled with Ninpu, rather than fighting against evil yokai as promised, he attempted to woo the mermaid he has a crush on with his ninja powers and create inconvenience for rivals which the shinobi quartets frowned upon. He became a bully and started causing unwanted wars to expand his territory for her over a twisted version of love, despite her having no interest in him, and was held as his hostage in his feudal town. Sui the First and his disciples were sent to take him down. After Auriko defeats Tadeus with no contest, Sui the First, hearing the tale, hopes to redeem the Nautilus yokai if Tadeus follows to become an honorable ninja. Tadeus feels most shameful for what he has done. He swore loyalty to the shaman and became the Yellow Ninja Ranger. Aisha learns the art of illusion through producing water vapors that cause mirages through Corcus, the Black Ninja Ranger. The Black Ninja Ranger Corcus works very hard in the shadows, hoping to earn his family's approval for his return. He was the Crown Prince Tadpole of the Frog Yokai Kingdom who accidentally destroyed a pearl bestowed by a neighboring kingdom to his father, the Frog King. This was a token of friendship, and breaking it, even by accident, would be an act of war. Realizing his mistake, he begged Ninjor to teach him the art of Ninpu illusion. Being a quick learner, he was able to produce the perfect illusion, resembling the pearl which his father admires, not knowing it has been destroyed. Unfortunately, one day Corcus caught the flu and his illusion was starting to lose touch due to his sick day. The neighboring kingdom found out about this deception and was infuriated. War was declared. To appease the neighboring king, Corcus was to be executed for his actions. The Falcon Zord appeared and pleaded for his life. The king exiled him instead and forced him into the servitude of the Ninja Zord. The two kingdoms achieved peace, but Corcus was seen as the black sheep amongst his people, or should I say, black frog. Thus the Ninja Zord assigns Corcus to meet Sui the First and protect him on his spiritual quest. After being inspired by the shaman's words and spiritual pilgrimage, Corcus wants to be the protector of the first White Ninja Ranger and his descendants in hopes his father would approve. By the end of Sui the First completed the ninja training, so did the other four. There, the Aquitar Ninja Power Rangers were formed and fought alongside the shinobi quartets against invaders and any yokai that threatened the balance of peace. When Sui the First passed away, the four were tasked to teach his descendants the way of ninja. Thus, this shaman would protect and pass the word of ninja to new generations to come. In modern times, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers complete their training while the ninja was stationed on Earth to fight against Rita, Finster, Squat, and Baboo. The Rangers earned the control over the Shogun Zords after the five Rangers mastered their elemental attacks. However, they have to use their elemental-based attacks sparingly, as their Thunder Spirit essence has been fading away over time. After all, the Thunder Spirits are no longer with them ever since their destruction. As Rito stole the pink power coin, Kimberly telepathically linking her mind to the Morphin grid is detrimental to her health. In her weakest moment, Kimberly was teleported to the moon base. When Tommy chases after her, Kat then sneaks into the White Ninja Falcon Zord's cockpit without being detected with the pink power coin. She knocks Tommy out and scans the Zord's physiology. With the Zord's Ninpu evolution analyzed, it would enable Rito to locate and control the Shogun Zords in slumber so that Lord Zedd may use them to conquer Earth. Following this, Rito took over the Shogun Zord and brought them to Earth. He bragged to the rest of Zedd's crew that he has always been able to in the past before his excommunication from Aquitar, when Lord Zedd requested to be teleported to the command center for a parley and forced the Rangers to pilot them and destroy Earth with them in exchange for the safety of a kidnapped Kimberly. This parley was just a front. Turns out it was just Aisha's illusion projection of the Rangers' presence there. They were secretly sent on a rescue mission to save Kimberly. With Zedd's presence away from the moon base, so was its security. Arriving, Tommy was able to use his sonar abilities to locate Kimberly and Alpha teleport both of them back to the command center. The 5 Rangers were also sent to the moon base to take back the Zeo crystal. Rito arrived to stop the Rangers. Rito used his flamethrower at Adam, and Adam overpowers him with thunder flames. Rito tried to strike Adam, but Adam blocked the strike with his sword, and Rito was electrocuted by the blade since Adam was still coursing an electric current through it. Billy used gravitational reversal to launch Rito towards the Zeo crystal. The giant impact between Zeo Seal and Rito created a small explosion, knocking over the remote of the Shogun Zord, which contains the analysis of the Falcon Zord, out of Rito's hands. It was flung out of the porch and into space. He lost control of the Shogun Zords. As Rito landed on the ground, he tried to grab the Zeo crystal. However, Aisha used illusion to create hundreds of the crystals right in front of Rito. Rito was confused about not knowing which is the real one. The Rangers grabbed the real one and left. However, as the Rangers ran, they were cornered by Rita and Zedd. The group is forced to surrender, however, Rocky reverses time. He led the Rangers in another entrance opposite from the evil couple. The Rangers got on board the Shogun Zord and safely returned back to Earth. This embarrassment of Zedd losing the Zeo crystals and as well as the Shogun Zords was Zedd's biggest defeat. With the Shogun Zord impressed by the Rangers' strength in Ninpu and their heart of bravery and justice, the Shogun Zord joins their fight. Somehow, a mysterious mechanical hand picked up the Rito's remote and starts analyzing the Falcon Zord. Even though the Zeo crystals are powerful, Zordon finds it volatile and dangerous. He plans to find a way to get rid of it. Rocky suggests using the power cannon to destroy it, but Billy reminds him matter cannot be created nor destroyed. If they fail to destroy the crystals, the Rangers might accidentally unleash an explosion the size of a supernova from the crystal. Zordon locked it up in one of the storage rooms. Unfortunately, the crystal's power seal is still active on the Zeo crystals. They are still unable to access the powers. Without her power coin and losing her cognitive functions, Kimberly began to weaken and start to lose her powers. Tommy said he will support her as she has supported him when the Green Ranger powers were weakening. Later, Kimberly tried to protect Kat from a Tenga attack, never suspecting it was a ploy to capture her. Secretly watching Kim battle the Tengas, Kat's goodness within her starts to conflict against Rita's agreement. She began to feel some sympathy for the Pink Ranger. While Kimberly was captured and being drained of her power, Kat went to see her, and once again felt pangs of regret and wished that things could be different. As Kat wants to back away from her deal as she feels awful for what she did towards the Rangers, Rita tells Kat what an evil Eltarian she was. Kat remembered why she joined Zedd. In the past, the Hillard family used to own the windmills of Eltar before it was taken over by Lord Zedd. After her family went out of business, Kat wants to steal from Lord Zedd's reserves to free her family from poverty and find a chance to flee the planet. Thus, she declared herself as Zedd's servant, but the Civil War ended and Zedd lost. He fled the planet. She was captured by Eltar authority, imprisoning her for her connections with the Warlord. When Zedd returned to free his loyal servants from prison, he also freed Kat. Her main intention was to hide away from the Eltarian authority and was forced into Zedd's servitude. She agrees to be his spy on Earth, and her main reason to remain on Earth is to hide from Zedd. She became a cat and hid from Zedd successfully until Rita drew her out. This flashback gave her the resolve to secretly end her alliance with Rita. She used to think she wouldn't care what would happen to Kimberly. Now she has changed her mind. Also, the more time she spent working with the Rangers, the more good inspired her, which led to her reform. And Kat feels awful after realizing that Kimberly was too weak and exhausted to focus on practicing her gymnastics because of her mind still connected to the Morphin grid, and she has gone through grueling battles with Zedd's army. Wanting deeply to repair the damage she had done, Kat tried to help the Rangers as best as she could. She turns on Zedd and Rita, confessing her spying ways and reveals intel to the Rangers and Zordon. Kat was the one who helped Kimberly complete her training in wind manipulation. In time, the Shogun Zords could combine with the Falcon Zord and form the Falcon Shogun Zord, and the individual Shogun Zords could make a pyramid formation, which destroyed monsters in a whirlwind attack. Additional abilities learned from Cat. Cat became a double agent, pretending to be on evil's side but actually working for good. Unfortunately, as Rito started realizing more and more internal sabotage was done by Cat rather than his political rivals, Rito reported it to Zedd and Zedd orders for her immediate capture. Ultimately, the Rangers' plan to protect Cat failed, and she was captured and taken back to Zedd's palace. While trapped in the palace dungeon, Cat used her wind manipulation to unlock her cell when Rito was asleep. Cat retrieved the coin from Rito through creating a wind current. She was confronted by Rita, and the two fought. Cat was no match against Rita, and Rita was about to turn her into a cat forever until Alpha 5 locked onto the coin's energy signature and teleported the coin and Cat to the command center. When Cat arrived, she gave the power coin back to Kimberly. During this time, Kimberly had just gone through a traumatic experience, and after she was discharged from the hospital, she chose not to continue her Pan-Global Games training, until Cat told her about her own traumatic experience before the Elter Civil War. Cat used to be a diver on Elter, but because she had hit her head on the board during her demo, she had lost the qualification tryouts and lived in fear of the high diving. And to convince Kimberly that fear shouldn't rule her life, Cat conquered her fear of the high diving and executed a perfect swan dive. Zordon says her Alpha's scan on Kim has been completed. Her mental connection into the Morphin grid is killing her. Zordon said the only way to save her is to wipe all her memories of her ever being a Power Ranger. All the friends she has made when she was a Ranger had to be avoided. If Kimberly ever remembers them, the mental connection with the Morphin grid would be reconnected and it would kill her. Even with the coin returned to her, this wouldn't make any difference. It's the same as wearing a radiation suit after the wearer is poisoned by the radiation. With a heartbreaking decision, Kimberly chose to have her mind wiped and leave the team to follow her dream. She passed her power coin on to Cat. Kimberly leaves for Florida without the memories of ever becoming a Power Ranger, her friends, nor her loved one, Tommy Oliver. Their relationship was forced to end here. After being accepted by the Ninja Zords and chosen by Kimberly as the next Pink Ranger, she should be seen less like Kimberly's replacement. Catherine shouldn't have dated Tommy. Instead, Catherine should have dated Rocky, Adam, or another Ranger later in the season instead. To make Catherine as different from Kim as possible, she helps Aisha in the homeless animal shelter, does ballet, and is the president of the Music Appreciation Club. Bulk and Skull slowly became closer friends with the main cast of the Rangers, like maybe have Catherine start hanging out with Skull over something trivial which they both love, maybe like classical piano music. The two characters start to bond, the two groups start to mingle more, and by the end of the season, it would make sense to see how they all got to be friends. With the Zeo Crystal being on the plate, Trey of Triforia was recurrently seen speaking to Zordon about the Zeo Crystals, the mysterious power source that Zordon has been safeguarding but doesn't want to use. Ever since the Zeo Crystals were discovered, Trey and Zordon had been debating over the usage of them. Zordon wants them cast away as it attracts villains to Earth, which attracted Rito. But Trey wants to return them back to his homeworld. Zordon suggests the journey would place Trey and his journey back in danger. The teleporter is not strong enough to transport the crystals that far. The Zeo Crystals are from Triforia that were smuggled by space pirates and ended up on Earth. Since then, it has attracted big names invading Earth to retrieve them. 10,000 years ago, Rita arrived on Earth to get the crystals, hoping to use them to open the portal for Zedd to gain his demonic army. She fought against Zordon. Zordon used the crystal's magical abilities to seal her away into the dumpster. Before being sent away, Rita engulfed the crystals with a powerful force field that would harm anyone trying to remove it, using the Zeo crystals to power the force field with its perpetual growing powers. With its unstable properties, it trapped Zordon in a time warp when Zordon tried to remove the seal. Thus, Zordon asked the Firebird Thunder Spirit to hide them to never be found. The crystals were left on the Caves of Deception, thus the reason Rito stole the pink power coin. As a perpetual growing energy, the Zeo crystals are so powerful that even Rita could not remove her own force field safely anymore after 10,000 years. Over the season, Ninjor has been helping the Rangers here and there, but not in full time due to him being transported to Aquitar to stop space pirates of Gartha harassing Aquitian space trade routes. When the Rangers requested to help Aquitar, Zedd's forces were busy focusing on Earth again, as their enemies seemed to be busy with another feudal force. The Aquitians warned the Rangers of the incoming machine empire that was invading Zedd's territory, before which put Rita in charge during this season. In this season, Adam has been finding a balance between his passion for soccer and his familial respects for boxing. Billy helped Adam to find an appreciation of boxing through scientific analysis between being a goalie and boxer, further cementing their friendship. Adam also helps Billy in showing his passion for science and making fun experiments with the gang to better appreciate cool things they can make with simple household items. Aisha has been struggling in balancing between her schoolwork and ranger duties, more so preferring to fight monsters than doing her assignments. Adam later had a heart-to-heart with her in helping her to have a more balanced lifestyle, parallel to his commitment to passion to soccer and devotion to his family and boxing. With Kimberly's departure, we were taught how to say goodbye to friends and loved ones through saying goodbye to Kimberly. Audience will feel and learn how to cope just like them. Originally, Rocky is treated like the audience's point of view. He started off being cold to Catherine, but in time warms up to her after the two share a passion and music appreciation of the classics, as Rocky is a fan of classical music. Tommy has been going through some self-doubts about being a good leader after the destruction of the Thunder Zords. He was the one mourning the destruction of the Thunder Spirits and the Dinozords. However, in time, Bulk and Skull helped Tommy feel better indirectly. Bulk and Skull overheard Tommy's failure, mistaking him and thinking he let his karate class down in losing the championship when he was overthinking about the end of the Zords. Bulk and Skull shared their fair share of not being able to discover the identities of the Power Rangers, but they used what they've learned to intern as junior detectives. Tommy in time was able to let go of his biggest failure. Catherine learns to not be a reluctant pawn of the villains of this season and actually stand up for herself. As the newest Pink Ranger, she wants to try her best to redeem herself and step up to be more than just Kimberly's replacement. She is a fine addition to the team despite she still feels very guilty of her wrongdoings. For the villain's arc in this season, Finster and Baboo have been more busy with Rita's reinstatement. The two have been joining forces to combine sculpting with potions in creating stronger and better monsters to win up Rita. Finster and Baboo have been fighting with Rita in office politics. The three secretly mess with each other's plans on purpose just to make themselves better in the eyes of Zedd. Zedd only recruited Rita due to his knowledge in Ninpu and knowledge of the Zeo Crystal. Zedd originally did not want to recruit the Necromancer because he can't sanction Rita's unambitious buffoonery. Later, Finster, Baboo, and Squat were sent away to fight in another war zone against another feudal system trespassing Lord Zedd's territory. Similar to his yokais, Rito's mindset is to play big, destructive pranks on humans first, finding the Zeo Crystals second. He doesn't really care about conquering the Earth, nor opening the portal to unleash demons, which annoys Zedd a lot. But Rito learned a lot from his mistakes and his attacks improved again and again, to make funnier and crueler jokes. After all, Rito looks as if he's always smiling, because he's a skullhead. As a parallel to the flowery Kunoichi team, remember that mechanical hand that picked up the damaged remote control of the Shogun Zord? It turns out it is a powerful machine monster. Seeing the Shogun Zord's control is not permanent. It's scaled down to target and steal the Aquitar Ranger powers. That was why Ninjor was called back to fight in Aquitar. Soon, the mechanical monster turned the Aquitar Ranger powers into his own puppet minions. The more power Ninjor uses, the evil Aquitar Ranger puppets would take in Ninjor's stamina and then use it to attack Ninjor, perpetually exhausting Ninjor in every single fight. In time, Ninjor was weakened and captured. As Zedd was seen retreating from Earth, the evil Aquitar Rangers were to antagonize the MMPR Rangers, just like the Psycho Rangers in space. The reason why the Aquitar Rangers cannot absorb the Rangers' powers is because of the Thunder Spirit's essence. If the evil Aquitar Rangers try to absorb the Rangers' powers, it will weaken them due to impure ninja powers. The Rangers' powers comprises of Dinosaur, Thunder Spirits, and Ninja. One by one, the Rangers managed to destroy the Aquitar puppets, but the powers were reabsorbed and combined into an Aquitian Ranger hybridized monster. As the Ranger fights against the mechanical monster, all damage towards it is transferred to Ninja. However, when Billy doses the mechanical monster to the radiated waters with negative protons from Aquitar, its connection to Ninjor is severed. With his powers now restored, Ninjor easily breaks free of his chains and enlarges immediately. The navy-clad ninja warrior helps the Rangers to destroy the machine monster. When the machine monster tries to absorb the ninja powers from Ninjor, Catherine pilots the Megazord and jumps right in front of Ninjor to shield him. The monster absorbs Catherine's impure ninja powers, as her powers are not just dinosaur, thunder spirit, and ninja. She also has Eltar wind-chasing energy, which destroyed the monster due to the lack of purity. Ninjor retakes the Aquitar Ranger powers. As the Rangers and Ninjor celebrate, Ninjor was transferred to Aquitar to return the Ninja Rangers their powers to fight against the Gartha Space Pirate Queen, who is still harassing their space trade routes. The Ninja Zords and Shogun Zords return to Aquitar to reconnect the ninja powers back to the Aquitan Rangers. Without warning, Zedd's forces have been waiting to ambush the exhausted Rangers from their last battle. Goldar and Rito made a bet with each other. Goldar said Rito is a weakling for never landing a hand on the Rangers. Rito said he's too bored and prefers using his yokai. Goldar continued to taunt Rito until Rito was very annoyed. Rito decides to go and intercept the Rangers. Goldar's plan to use Rito was a diversion, and he can scoop all the credit for stealing the Zeo Crystal. Rito arrives to challenge the unprepared Rangers. In a few quick stunning moves and aimed at their morpher buckles except Tommy's, Rito destroyed all their morphers. Goldar swoops down and grabs the White Ranger power coin from Rito. With Rito acting as the diversion, Goldar entered the command center and grabbed the Zeo crystals from Alpha, who wanted to protect it from evil forces. How did Goldar have access to the command center? To access the command center, one must have a power coin. Goldar strapped a bomb to the Zeo crystals. If Lord Zedd cannot use the Zeo crystals, no one can use it either. As the final insult, Goldar breaks the White Ranger power coin in front of the defeated Rangers badly beaten by Rito. When all hopes seem lost after Rito and Goldar left, Aisha confesses she did a switcheroo, revealing she has casted an illusion that the two thought they took the Zeo crystals. Aisha actually stole the crystals back from Goldar all along. As Zordon came to brief the Rangers, the loss of the power coins meant the Thunder Essence and Ninja powers are gone. But they could use a new source of energy which is ancient, making it volatile. But if the next villain comes, that's their best bet. The Aquitan Rangers, Ninjor, Shogun Zord, Ninja Zord, and Falcon Zord are right now at a full-scale war against the invasive forces. Titanus alone couldn't fight a new army. Meanwhile, Alpha and Billy try to defuse the bomb attached to the Zeo crystals. If the two aren't careful, it could trigger the bomb to explode. Billy tries to use negative proton energy, a type of particle that could dampen the Zeo powers as it cancels out Morphin Grid energy, as it did with the Ninja Power Stealing monster. Billy hypothesizes this material can stabilize the Zeo powers. The other Rangers are busy fending off incoming Hakushi, unmorphed and without their elemental powers. Strange enough, as the audience, we were shown that the moon base was empty. Lord Zedd, Rita, and their goons have evacuated the moon. Has Lord Zedd given up his conquest to gain his demonic army as they think they've received Zeo crystals? But wouldn't Lord Zedd realize the crystals are no longer of their possession anymore? As it turns out, Lord Zedd found out. The other Hakushis were suddenly teleported away while in the middle of the battle against the Rangers. Back in space, Zedd takes out the detonator and presses it with Rita. Back in the command base, the Zeo Crystals bomb was activated. The explosion was just to remove Rita's seal. The real damage is what follows. With the seal removed, it released 10,000 years of pent-up energy within. It caused a chain reaction which fried the controls, destroyed the command base from the inside out. The energy was so strong, it splintered the Zeo Crystal into 5 pieces and 5 Rangers were hurled into 5-time warps. The explosion knocked a tank of negative proton energy on Billy, which shielded him from the blast. Little did Zordon and the Rangers know. A mechanical army landed onto the moon base, celebrating their victory against Lord Zedd's forces. The Machine Empire has arrived. Thanks for watching MMPR Season 3 Reimagined. I personally like the Kaku Ranger suits and Zords in this season, but for the sake of introducing the Aquitar Rangers, I guess I'll have to keep it the way it is. I have no beef with this season, I'm just tired of saying everything is alien despite having a lot of Asian elements. So I'd like to incorporate some of the ancient Japanese elements into my version. I hope you enjoy this. How would you have preferred Ninjor, Ninja Zords, and the Kaku Ranger suits to be handled? What are your thoughts on the monsters of this season? Let's keep this discussion going and don't forget to like and subscribe.